In a world where trust is sacred, what happens when a family friend becomes the ultimate betrayer? A shocking crime that shattered lives and forever changed a community. This is the story of the Johnson family, who welcomed their friend Mike into their lives with open arms. Little did they know, their trust would lead to unimaginable tragedy. Mike was more than just a friend, he was like family. But beneath the surface, darkness loomed, and greed began to corrupt his heart. As the Johnsons struggled financially, Mike seized the opportunity to exploit their vulnerabilities. His betrayal would soon have fatal consequences. Tensions rose as Mike manipulated the family, creating rifts and sowing discord. Friends became foes, and trust eroded. Then came the fateful night that would change everything. A family dinner turned deadly, with Mike's true nature revealed. As the night progressed, heated words were exchanged. The dinner escalated into chaos, culminating in a shocking act of violence. In a moment of rage, Mike struck. The family was left in shock as the true betrayal unfolded before their eyes. The aftermath was devastating. Emergency services arrived, but it was too late. Lives were forever altered by the betrayal of a trusted friend. Investigators began to piece together the events of that night. Mike was arrested, but the question remained. Why did he betray the family that cared for him? As the trial approached, the community was left in disbelief. How could someone they trusted commit such an atrocity? During the trial, shocking revelations emerged about Mike's past, uncovering a history of deceit and manipulation. The jury listened intently. The Johnson family faced their greatest challenge yet as they recounted their experiences, grappling with the betrayal that tore them apart. The prosecution painted a picture of a cold-hearted manipulator, while the defense tried to portray Mike as a victim of circumstance. The jury was torn. As the verdict approached, the tension was palpable. The community held its breath, awaiting justice for the Johnson family. When the jury finally announced their decision, it sent shockwaves through the courtroom. Guilty on all counts. Justice had been served. However, for the Johnson family, the battle was far from over. They faced a long journey of healing from the wounds inflicted by Mike's betrayal. The community rallied around the Johnsons, offering support and solidarity. Together, they sought to rebuild their lives after the tragedy. Years passed, but the memory of that fateful night lingered. The Johnsons became advocates for victims of betrayal, sharing their story in hopes of raising awareness. Their story serves as a chilling reminder of how trust can be weaponized and the impact of betrayal can echo through generations. What would you do if someone you trusted betrayed you? The Johnson family's story teaches us to be cautious, but also to seek help in times of need. Reflect on the complexities of trust and betrayal. As the Johnsons attempted to heal, whispers of betrayal began to surface. Neighbors started sharing stories of their encounters with the family friend, revealing a pattern of deceit that had gone unnoticed. What was once a trusted ally now cast a shadow over the family's peace. One neighbor recalled an incident just weeks before the tragedy. The family friend had hinted at knowledge of the Johnsons' vulnerabilities, speaking cryptically about their financial struggles. This unsettling revelation raised alarms for the community. Meanwhile, the investigation was far from over. Detectives began combing through financial records, searching for any signs of foul play. What they uncovered would lead them deeper into a web of manipulation that connected the family friend's past to the Johnsons' misfortunes. As the detectives delved deeper, they uncovered a startling connection. The family friend had previously been involved in fraudulent schemes, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Was this betrayal part of a larger, sinister plan? With this new information surfacing, the Johnsons found themselves grappling with confusion and fear. How had they been so blind to the danger lurking so close? Their lives were now entangled in a narrative they never saw coming. Friends and family urged the Johnsons to take legal action, but the road ahead was fraught with uncertainty. They faced tough decisions about how to protect themselves while still grappling with the emotional toll of their betrayal. As rumors began to circulate, the family friend tried to reestablish connections with the Johnsons. They portrayed themselves as a victim of misunderstanding, trying to manipulate the narrative in their favor. But the Johnsons weren't easily swayed. Determined to stand their ground, the Johnsons began documenting every interaction with the family friend. They knew they needed to gather evidence to protect themselves against further betrayal, showcasing their resolve to confront the situation head on. As the situation escalated, tensions within their community grew. Friends began to take sides, with some supporting the Johnsons while others remained loyal to the family friend. This divide added another layer of complexity to an already painful situation. The Johnsons soon realized they weren't the only ones affected by this betrayal. Other families began coming forward with their own stories of deception, revealing a pattern that painted the family friend in a more sinister light. In a surprising turn of events, one of these families had a direct connection to the family friend's past. They shared chilling details that hinted at a history of manipulation and exploitation, further complicating the Johnsons' situation. The urgency to act grew stronger as the Johnsons prepared for legal proceedings. They gathered not only evidence, but also testimonies from other affected families, creating a coalition against the family friend's deceitful actions. As the court date approached, the atmosphere was filled with anxiety and anticipation. The Johnsons hoped for justice, but they also feared the potential fallout from their decision to expose the family friend's treachery. On the day of the trial, the courtroom was packed. Community members came to show their support, their presence a testament to the growing awareness of betrayal's impact. The stakes had never been higher for the Johnsons. As the trial unfolded, shocking revelations emerged. The family friend's history of deceit was laid bare, revealing a series of past victims whose lives were similarly shattered. The Johnsons weren't alone in their battle against betrayal. Each testimony brought fresh waves of emotion, anger, sadness, and a sense of solidarity among the victims. The courtroom transformed into a space of healing, where shared pain became a powerful catalyst for change. Despite the overwhelming evidence, the family friend attempted to manipulate the narrative once again, claiming that the Johnsons had conspired against them. This desperate move only fueled the fire of the community's anger. After days of intense testimonies and legal arguments, the jury deliberated. Tension filled the air as the Johnsons awaited their fate, believing that justice was finally within reach after enduring so much pain. When the verdict was finally read, a hush fell over the courtroom. The Johnsons held their breath, emotions swirling within them. Would justice prevail, or would their battle against betrayal end in despair? As the verdict echoed through the courtroom, relief and disbelief washed over the Johnsons. They had emerged victorious, but it was a bittersweet triumph, knowing the scars of betrayal would never fully heal. With the family friend facing legal repercussions, the Johnsons began to rebuild their lives. Yet the echoes of betrayal lingered, reminding them to remain vigilant and cautious in their relationships moving forward. As time went on, the Johnson family became advocates for others affected by betrayal. They shared their story to raise awareness, ensuring that no one would suffer in silence as they once had. Their mission was to empower others to seek help. Their journey had transformed them into beacons of hope, reminding others that even in darkness, there's a path towards healing and resilience. The Johnsons stood as living proof that betrayal, while painful, can also lead to positive change. As the Johnson family reflected on their tumultuous journey, they understood that trust is a fragile thing. Their story would serve as a reminder to stay vigilant against betrayal and to seek support from one another. Though the scars of betrayal would always remain, the Johnsons chose to focus on their newfound strength and the community they had built. Their story ends here, but the lessons learned will echo through the lives of others for years to come. As the Johnsons began to rebuild their lives, whispers of betrayal echoed throughout the community. Friends and neighbors, once oblivious, were drawn into the unfolding drama, eager to understand the motives behind such a shocking act. The questions lingered. Why would someone so close betray their trust? In the days that followed, a local reporter took an interest in the Johnsons' story, seeking to uncover the truth behind the betrayal. Interviews with the family provided insight into their emotional struggles and the ripple effect this incident had on their lives. With each revelation, the community's sympathy grew. The Johnsons, while processing their pain, also began to notice changes in their social circle. Some friends stepped back, unsure of how to react, while others came forward offering unwavering support. This dichotomy of response further illustrated the complexities of trust. Meanwhile, the perpetrator of this betrayal, once a family friend, faced their own fallout. As rumors circulated, their reputation began to tarnish. What once was a respected figure became a subject of disdain, and the community's perception of them shifted dramatically. The local community organized a gathering to support the Johnsons, highlighting the importance of solidarity in times of crisis. This event not only showcased the resilience of the family, but also illustrated the power of community in healing and recovery. At the event, the Johnsons shared their story publicly for the first time. The emotional weight of their experience resonated with many, inspiring others who had faced similar betrayals. Their bravery and vulnerability became a beacon of hope. As the story spread, other victims of betrayal in the community reached out to the Johnsons. This unexpected connection led to the formation of a support group where individuals could freely share their stories and find solace in shared experiences. However, not everyone in the community responded positively to the Johnsons' newfound spotlight. A faction of skeptics questioned their narrative, suggesting they were exaggerating their plight for attention. This doubt further strained the family's emotional recovery. Amidst the turmoil, the Johnsons found refuge in therapy, where they could process their feelings in a safe environment. The therapeutic sessions revealed deep-seated emotions, allowing them to confront the betrayal head-on and begin the path toward healing. As weeks turned into months, the Johnsons slowly began to reclaim their lives. They engaged in community projects, channeling their pain into positive actions. Gardening, volunteering, and supporting local causes became their way of healing and connecting with others. Despite their progress, the shadows of betrayal lingered in their minds. Nightmares and flashbacks haunted their sleep, reminding them of the trust that had been shattered. They came to realize that healing is not a linear journey, but a winding path. In an effort to combat these dark thoughts, the Johnsons began practicing mindfulness and meditation. These techniques helped them ground themselves during moments of distress, providing a sense of peace amid the turmoil they faced. As they ventured into this new chapter of their lives, the Johnsons became advocates for betrayal awareness in their community. They organized workshops and discussions, sharing their story to educate others on recognizing red flags in relationships. The workshops amassed attention, drawing in locals who were eager to learn from the Johnsons' story. The family's courage opened up dialogues about trust, boundaries, and the importance of communication in friendships. However, the Johnsons also faced backlash from those who felt uncomfortable discussing betrayal openly. Some accused them of dragging the community into their personal drama, igniting a heated divide among residents. In light of the tensions, the Johnsons chose to focus on the positive feedback they received. They emphasized the importance of resilience in the face of adversity and continued to push forward with their mission to help others heal. Inspired by their journey, a local artist decided to create a mural honoring the Johnsons' story of strength and survival. This piece not only beautified the community, but also served as a reminder of the healing power of art in overcoming trauma. As the mural was unveiled, the Johnsons felt a mix of emotions. They were grateful, yet reminded of their pain. The community, however, celebrated the artwork as a symbol of hope and resilience, solidifying their bond with the family. With time, the Johnsons learned to embrace their new normal. They filled their days with laughter and joy, focusing on the love that surrounded them rather than the betrayal that had once shattered their world. As they reflected on their journey, the Johnsons acknowledged the growth that had emerged from their pain. They understood that while betrayal had changed them, it also ignited in them a fierce determination to thrive and support others in similar situations. In an empowering move, the Johnsons decided to document their experiences in a book. They hoped to share not only their story, but also the lessons learned about trust, friendship, and the power of community to heal. As they penned their narrative, they invited contributions from others who had faced betrayal, creating a collective voice of resilience and healing. This collaboration offered a platform for various experiences, amplifying the message that they were not alone in their struggles. Soon, the book gained traction, attracting attention from local media outlets. Interviews and articles highlighted the Johnsons' journey, reigniting the conversation about betrayal and the importance of support systems in overcoming personal trauma. Despite the increased visibility, the Johnsons remained humble, understanding that their journey was about more than just them. They wished to inspire others to share their stories and foster a community where betrayal could be openly discussed and addressed. As their book gained popularity, they received invitations to speak at events, sharing their insights into healing and resilience. Their message resonated widely, transforming their personal experience into a movement for change in how betrayal is perceived in society. During one particular event, a young woman approached the Johnsons, sharing her own painful story of betrayal. Her courage to speak up inspired the family, reaffirming their belief in the power of connection and support in the face of adversity. As their journey of advocacy continued, the Johnsons created an online platform where people could share their stories. This virtual space became a safe haven for those seeking comfort and understanding, further solidifying the community they had built. The platform quickly gained followers, with users expressing gratitude for the connection it provided. The Johnsons felt a sense of purpose, realizing that their journey had transformed into a mission to empower others to speak out against betrayal and seek healing. However, they also faced the challenge of moderating the discussions. With so many voices, it became vital to ensure a safe and respectful environment for sharing. The Johnsons dedicated time to fostering a culture of positivity and support within the community. As their movement grew, the Johnsons partnered with mental health organizations to provide resources and assistance for those affected by betrayal. Together, they launched campaigns that educated the public on the signs of toxic relationships and the importance of self-care. Despite the positive impact of their efforts, the Johnsons occasionally faced criticism from skeptics who believed they were profiting from their pain. They navigated this scrutiny with grace, reiterating their focus on healing rather than financial gain. In one poignant moment, the Johnsons received a heartfelt letter from someone who had been profoundly affected by their work. The letter expressed gratitude for the comfort and strength their story had provided, reminding the family of their mission's true impact. As time passed, the Johnsons celebrated milestones in their journey of healing. They held community events to acknowledge the progress made and the lives touched by their advocacy, fostering a sense of unity and hope among everyone involved. Throughout their journey, the Johnsons discovered the importance of self-care. They learned to prioritize their well-being, understanding that in order to help others, they first needed to heal themselves. This revelation became a vital part of their ongoing journey. With their newfound perspective, the Johnsons began exploring creative outlets to express their emotions. They found solace in art, music, and writing, channeling their experiences into creative projects that resonated with their journey. As they shared their creative endeavors, the Johnsons inspired others to tap into their own creativity as a form of healing. Workshops on creative expression became part of their advocacy, inviting community members to join in the journey of transformation. During one particularly impactful workshop, a participant shared how the Johnsons' story had inspired her to confront her own painful past. This moment of vulnerability deepened the connection among attendees, showcasing the power of shared healing. As the Johnsons continued their advocacy, they realized the importance of maintaining their own mental health. They established boundaries to protect themselves from the emotional toll of their work, ensuring they remained strong for their community. In a collaborative effort, the Johnsons teamed up with local schools to implement programs centered on emotional intelligence and resilience. They aimed to equip the next generation with the tools to recognize and navigate betrayal, fostering a culture of empathy and understanding. As they built these programs, the Johnsons witnessed firsthand the impact of their work on young minds. Students opened up about their experiences, forging friendships based on mutual support, proving that healing can begin even in the toughest of circumstances. While the Johnsons celebrated these victories, they also remained vigilant regarding their own triggers and emotional responses. They continued to consult with mental health professionals to navigate their own healing journeys alongside their advocacy work. As their community initiatives flourished, the Johnsons decided to host an annual conference focused on betrayal awareness and resilience. This event attracted participants from various backgrounds, all seeking to learn and grow from shared experiences. During the conference, the Johnsons shared their journey in detail, recounting both the pain and the growth it spurred. Their authenticity resonated with the audience, leaving a lasting impression on all who attended. As the conference concluded, attendees expressed gratitude for the Johnsons' openness. Many shared how the insights gained would help them navigate their own challenges, further proving that sharing stories can pave the way for healing and understanding. Though the Johnsons had made significant strides in their healing journey, they understood that the impact of betrayal would never fully fade. The lessons learned would remain a part of their lives, shaping who they had become as individuals and as a family.